Hi everyone and welcome to this painting video. In this video I'm working on a painting of a dragon egg. In recent months I've absolutely loved working on dragon drawings, and all of the fantasy art in general has just been so much fun. And it's been on my mind recently that I'd like to try working on a dragon egg, but I wasn't sure if it's going to be a drawing or a painting. Then recently with the watercolour painting I've just found it to be extremely fun and relaxing, and just a really rewarding process. And also with all of the colour choices and the way the water mixes with the paint and creates these cool effects, I thought this would be a great opportunity to try a dragon egg. So I started by working on the initial sketch and adding a rough shape of the egg, and then it was time to start thinking about the kind of scales that I wanted to add to this, whether I wanted them to be all uniform in shape and size across the whole egg, or if I wanted them to be all large and small, all mixed together. And the design that I went for was to have the large scales towards the bottom, and then they get smaller as they work their way towards the top of the egg. I found this idea to be more interesting and more exciting to work on. I also didn't want the scales to be exact in shape and size. I wanted them to have scratches and scrapes and jagged edges, and hopefully making them a little bit more interesting to look at than if they were just completely smooth. And that's just the idea that I went into this sketch with, and I was trying to create. Once the sketch was completed, I then wanted to add the watercolour paint, and I wanted to add a base layer of colour first. In terms of my idea for the colour of this egg, I was thinking about adding an emerald green or looking for something similar. And looking at the colour palette in front of me, I found a colour called Viridian Green, and this seemed the perfect fit for this egg. So I added a base layer of colour with that first, with a light wash. And then afterwards, for the second pass, I added lots more paint to the brush, adding some really dark colouring and adding the scratches and the scrapes and all of the different shapes to each scale that I mentioned that I wanted to add before. After that, to add even more tone to each scale, I added some black paint, trying to add some shading to the underside of the egg, but to also add shading where the scales overlap each other. When I was finally happy with the green colouring that I added to each of the scales, it was time to start adding the second colour to this painting. And for this, I was thinking of adding a pinkish red to the tip of each scale. Looking at the colour palette again, I saw two colours that I really wanted to blend together, those being rose and purple lake. Mixing them together, I was really pleased with the colour it created. It was very complementary to the emerald viridian green that was already placed on the page, and I feel like the colours really worked well together. After that, it was time for the final stages of this painting. I started by adding some shading underneath the egg, and I also brought out a Pigma Micron 05 to add some pen outlines around each of the scales to help define their shape. And then for the final stage of the painting, I brought out some white acrylic paint and used a paintbrush to add some highlights around the egg. Adding highlights around the outer edges of the egg and also around the outlines of some of the individual scales, and then also to help define some of the details like the scratches and the scrapes on the scales, and just to help bring out the details and hopefully make the egg stand out further from the page. And after that, this painting was completed. I really loved working on this. As I mentioned before, I'm having so much fun with the dragon drawings and thinking about all these fantasy concepts and trying different things. So this is an idea that I really wanted to try for a while, and hopefully I'll work on more soon. Please let me know what you think of this painting in the comments below, and if you have any suggestions for future paintings, drawings, fantasy art, fan art, any tutorials, anything at all, please let me know in the comments below. I really love reading through your suggestions and they really help out the channel. If you'd like to see more videos like this, then make sure you're subscribed, and any likes or shares on this video really mean a lot to me. If you want to see my progress and see progress photos throughout the week, then be sure to check out the links in the description box below to check out my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And once again, thank you so much for the support on this channel, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you all soon.